Well, take yourself back to the days of Moses. You know, here's old Moses. He come from the tribe of Levi. And there was a division within the nation, starting with Jacob, because he had 4 sons. One was Levi, and that's the tribe that Moses came from. He was a Levite. And then there was Judah, and these are 2 of 4 sons that came from Jacob, and they end up out in the desert. So what happened with Moses when he was a little baby, you know, the Hebrew babies, they didn't want no Hebrew babies because, you know, they figured these guys are going to rise up and beat us up, which they ended up doing either way. Because, you know, Jehovah would show up every once in a while and crazy stuff would happen. But old Moses, his mom was pretty smart. She puts him in a little boat, and she floats him up the Nile. Well, it just so happens the boat comes up on the princess of the house of Pharaoh, and she can't have a baby. So here's what you do. Float a baby up in a boat for a woman barren in the womb. So she raises Moses, and he comes up, and he's raised inside the castle with Pharaoh. And time goes by, and he says, well, I'm out of here. I'm really a Hebrew. And he goes over, and he's dwelling amongst the slaves, and here comes Jehovah. Moses, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. It's time to, I'm done punishing you, and time to take you over to the promised land. So Moses runs into Pharaoh, and again, go to the notes. I'm not going to give you all the scriptures because you'll get sidetracked. I want you to hear the story first. And so he goes in, and he says, well, tell Pharaoh I'm going to turn the Nile into blood to prove that I'm going to, you know, that he needs to let the people go. So turns the Nile to blood, and Pharaoh says, oh, I'm not going to move, man, you know. And it actually says in the word there, type in the word hardened heart. When you get to the Blue Letter Bible, it'll take you right to it. And it actually says that Jehovah hardened his heart. Well, that's a good one. Jehovah, go tell this guy to do something, but I hardened his heart. He's not going to listen to you. Well, thanks, Jehovah. That's nice of you. So, you know, all of these things, you know, he turns a cane into a rattlesnake or some kind of snake, and frogs come and, you know, coming out of the sky and flopping around the ground all over the place. All these crazy things that are going on to convince Pharaoh, who the Lord had hardened his heart, that it's time to let my people go. So after all of these warnings, Jehovah shows up and says, well, I got an idea. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to whack the firstborn of every family tonight. And Moses says, well, that is not nice. That's more death. He says, yeah, but I got a plan. Here's what you do. Go slay the lamb. Well, there's the sacrificial lamb. You know, remember Jesus is the Lamb of God and all that. So here's what you got to do. You got to go slay the lamb, cut the throat, kill the poor little thing, and then smear the blood over your door. And Moses says, well, why are we going to do that? And he says, well, because I'm sending the death angel tonight. Well, what's that all about? Well, he's going to come whack all the firstborn. So just think about this. In my family, I was secondborn. My brother Danny would have been whacked that night, unless we smeared the blood over the doorpost in our little house. So the game plan was, so Moses runs back and said, listen, Jehovah's sending the death angel tonight. So everybody that believes that Jehovah is the main, you know, the big kahuna, get yourself some blood out the lamb. And, you know, there wasn't enough lambs to go around, so the poor little thing, they slit its throat, and you go get yourself a little blood, and you put it over the door, and you get ready for the death angel. That's if you believe. But, you know, there were ones that didn't. Wow, that's a bunch of honky bull, you know. I'd just soon stay here in Egypt, and, you know, I'm done being a follower of Jehovah. So anyway, here comes the death angel. So people are running around, you know, trying to get in their house, and here's this big old, I don't know what it looks like, but I can imagine it's just a big old angel with a sword, you know. So he comes down the street, yielding the sword. Well, the first thing he does is he goes up to the palace and he whacks Pharaoh's son, his firstborn son. Then he comes down into the village where there's 400,000 from Israel down there, hundreds of thousands of them. And he goes up and down the street, and every once in a while you hear these screams and yells because there's some guy that didn't believe. He didn't put the blood over the door, and his firstborn son got whacked. So after all of this, Israel, they say, well, we're leaving, and they leave, and then Pharaoh, still mad, chases them all the way, and that's where, Jehovah parts the waters, and they run through the Red Sea and all that, and they get to the other side, right? That's in the book. So anyway, Jehovah shows up one night and says, Moses, we're going to have a party. Here's what we're going to do to commemorate what happened that night. It's called Passover. Well, I'm sure you've all heard of Passover because of this very day. We're still celebrating Passover, which is, I'm not Jewish. I'm not from the nation. I wasn't raised in the religion, and I don't really know a lot about the religion itself, but I got enough friends to tell you that, listen, when there's a Jewish holiday, they're going to take it, and Passover's the big one. So he says, we're going to call this the Feast of Pentecost, and we're going to make it 50 days long, and it'll commemorate the night that I passed over and got you out of Egypt and whacked all the firstborn. So Moses writes it down. You can find it in the notes. Got to go there after you listen to my story. So you go to the notes, and it'll tell you where it's at. So Moses says, okay, so we're going to start this party called Passover. And so he says, okay, now it's 50 days long, but for the first 7 days, starting on Passover, I want you to take the leaven out the bread. Well, Moses said, well, that's a pizza. Yeah, well, take the leaven out the bread for 7 days and call it the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
The Word of God says Moses pleaded with the Lord. He said, "Oh Lord, I'm just not a good speaker. I never have been, and I'm not now. Even after you've spoken to me, I'm clumsy with words." "Who makes mouths?" the Lord asked him. "Who makes people so they can speak or not speak, hear or not hear, see or not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go and do as I have told you. I will help you speak well, and I will tell you what to say."
Stretch out my hands, and I turn them now to blood, and smite I Egypt with wonders and signs. And go tell Pharaoh, you better let my people go. The time has come. Let him go, let him go, let him go. 'Cause I'm gonna send the death angel tonight, and he's gonna take the firstborn of the land. So put the blood over the door, as I will pass over when I say the blood. In his heart, and I have made him not believe, because all my people, you all do not believe. And I also love Pharaoh, just like you, oh, and it breaks my heart to take him down this way. Can't you say that I harden his heart? And can't you say that I made him not believe? So go tell Pharaoh it's time to let my people go.
So Moses puts it in there, and so now every year there's a feast, and on the first day, what happens is in the little town, the farmer gets called up and says, "Hey, you've been appointed to bring your firstling into the temple on Passover." So the farmer goes out. Now remember, this is in the springtime, and he goes out, and if he's got corn, there's a little midget piece of corn there, about half inch tall. That's his firstling. Well, he'll dig that up. He'll take it over the temple, and then the priest will bless it, and then he'll have a bunch of corn. But on that same day, everybody had to bake bread that didn't rise. So, flash forward now to the time of Jesus. Did you know that Jesus died on Passover? Most people, they really don't think that over, but he died on the biggest Jewish holiday when there was atonement and the death angel passed over the house. Well, didn't he kind of come in and live that in the flesh? I mean, did he not take care of the bad guy? And are we all part of Passover now? But here's the good part. So he dies on Passover. Now, head on over into Jerusalem and imagine this, a 13, 14-year-old kid, a girl, in the kitchen with her grandmother. And she's saying, "Grandma, every year we eat this flatbread." And Grandma said, "Well, it's only for 7 days." "Well, I like putting the bread over in the window here and watch the bread rise. But Grandma, why are we doing this?" So Grandma told her the story of the Passover and how the Hebrews come out of Egypt, and Pharaoh got whacked, and it's all part of the book. And then Moses starts the Torah, and he comes on over and they part the water, and this is part of that feast for 50 days. We're gonna have us a party, man. And it starts with Passover. So she said, "Well, this is kind of sad this year because, they just whacked this guy Jesus a couple nights ago. And, there's all this controversy about, whether he's a Jew or he's a Hebrew, or, half the people didn't believe he was God, and all these people fighting about it, and all these different religions are forming. And, Grandma, I don't really know what's going on with this Jesus thing." So about that time, she takes the bread over to the windowsill and looks down the road. And here comes this guy, Jesus. And she turns around and says, "Grandma, the bread's not rising, but that dude just did."
You're told. bakes unleavened bread. Turn the oven on high, just like your grandma did, like the Lord did say. She bakes unleavened bread. Turn the oven on high, just like your grandma did, like the Lord did say. The Lord loves you so much.
He walked by her window and he changed her life.
Flatbread, flatbread.
Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith has made thee whole.
Flatbread, flatbread. Flatbread, flatbread.
He's calling you. All right then. You know, put yourself in that teenager's place. She looked out the window. There he was. He rose. He rose from the dead. Imagine what that looked like to that girl and her grandma. They come walking down the street. He had prepared himself. He had done what no man could do. He destroyed the works of the devil. He lived a life, God in the flesh. He came in and made everything from the Old Testament washed away. He walked into the temple. He turned over the tables. He stopped the 10 Commandments. He died on a cross, knowing what he did would free you and me, you and me. And that never, ever again would we be condemned. Would we be told we're no good? Everything he did was from love. So when the bread doesn't rise, in a celebration that's thousands of years old, remember that he made everything perfect. That when the bread didn't rise, Jesus, God in the flesh, at the dawning of a new day came out of the grave and walked one more time down one more street and said, "It's finished. It is done. I love you."